All right, guys, I'm going to run you through a spot repair on this Cadillac. This is 800J. Detail shop got a little close with the pressure washers, so I'm going to show you guys real quick how to fix this as quickly as possible. All right, so we're going to start prepping one of these guys. Fine grit before our UV primer. I'm just going to go around the repair here. Let me get this tape off as well. All right, guys, I got you guys in the booth now. I'm going to tape this up. The beauty of this UV primer is that because it's in a can, I could do 2 pieces of paper. I don't have a ton of overspray. I also have my booth on, as you could hear. So any of that overspray is going to go into the filters anyway. But let's go ahead and get this taped up. All right, and as you can see, I've got 1 sheet. I'm going to do 2, like so. All right, so that's all I need. I got to get some wax and grease really quick, wipe this down, and then I'll go grab my primer after I put my paint hood on, and we'll be good. All right, guys, so I figured out real quick I would show you what I'm going to use to prime this. This is just a Sherwin-Williams UVP1. It's a rattle can UV primer. I just have this can thing on it so I can keep it off the floor, but it's just magnetic. This is the light that I'm going to use. This is made by Scan Grip. As you can see on the back of it, it's got timers. I'm going to flash each coat a minute, and then once I get to 3 or 4 coats or where I'm happy with my build, I'll just set it to 5 minutes and walk away and go do something else. That's the beauty of this stuff, is like it takes about 10 minutes and this is dried, cured, ready to go. So we're gonna get into this. I gotta go put on my respirator and some gloves, and we'll get to priming. All right, so as you can see, I've got just my belt and my hood on so I can pull this down, and it's feeding fresh air into my hood so I'm not breathing this stuff in. And then I've got my masking cart with my light. This has got a magnet on it. So basically I can just turn this on, flash cure this, roll this out of the way, do another coat, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit tighter and we'll get this primed. All right, you guys, so let's do this first coat and give this UV primer a good shake. Pull my hood down. Hopefully you guys can hear me still pretty well. Got the microphone in my mask. But my first coat, I'm just gonna do kind of a light one. Okay, as you can see, it sprays pretty clear. Turn my light on. With UV light, do not look at the light. I know it's tempting to want to stare at it. Don't do it. I gotta get this set just right. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna let that cure for about 1 minute, and it's just gonna tack that up so I can do another coat, and then we'll bring you back. All right, guys, so that's been a minute. Go ahead and hook myself back up there here real quick. That's been a minute flash. So now I'm gonna do my second coat. I also changed the angle for you guys so you guys could see a little better. As you can see, this is very minimal overspray, which is awesome for saving material. Honestly, I don't have to use a big plastic bag. And yeah, I can just use this masking, and that's enough. All right, you guys, I'm gonna wheel this thing out of the way real quick. And we're gonna get our third coat on here. Yeah, we're getting enough build. I know it's really hard to see this stuff. It sprays on with like a yellow tint to it. And I know it's hard to see for you guys, but I promise you the build of this stuff will actually impress most people. I've had body guys that are like, there's no way that you're getting the build out of a can. I'll bring you in tight after I'm done. I'm gonna do 4 coats on this, but I'll bring you in tight so you could see that it does build really, really well, all right? All right, guys, so I did find my yellow glasses. I didn't know where they were. When you're working with these UV lights, you really should be wearing these. A lot of times if I'm using that UV light, I point it where I need it to go, turn it on, and I don't I'll glance at it and make sure that my pattern is where I need it, but UV light can it can damage your eyes pretty bad. So use these if you're going to be working around it. Yeah, this stuff it's rough on your body. So don't be breathing it in. Wear your respirator. If you can, wear your hood. Even with your glasses, wear your hood. All right, let's do this 4th coat. I'm gonna lay it on a little bit thick, and then I'm gonna set it for 5 minutes. We'll go do something else, maybe mix up a little bit of base coat for this, because I can go right to base coat after I prep this. I'm gonna prep it all the way to 800 grit, so it'll be super smooth, ready for base. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so this is all cured. It's been 5 minutes. I'm gonna bring you guys in tight so you guys can see the build that this UV primer actually has, because I'm pretty happy with this, and then I will show you how to clean the little skim off the top. This is just gun flush. It's essentially, if you read the label, it's acetone. Acetone and a few other chemicals mixed together to clean out paint. You just spray it on the surface, wipe it, and that little skim comes off. But let's get you in tight so you can see the build on this. All right, hopefully you guys can see we got some pretty good build on there. I'm very happy with that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put you back on the tripod, and I'll show you how to use that acetone. All right, extremely simple. Microfiber towel, get your gun flush, just hose it. I don't know if you can see that little skim coming off the top. And you'll know because it'll be sticky, okay? And what you want is it to be smooth. So just give it a couple of little spritz, wipe her down good. And I'm gonna give it one more once I pull my masking off and get it outside of the booth. So I'm gonna unmask this, we'll wheel it out, and I'll show you how to prep this for paint. All right, guys, so I got this outside of the booth. A lot of guys like powder guide coat. I'm not a lot of guys. I much prefer spray-on guide coat. And I know guys complain, oh, then you gotta clean it up. It's as simple as wiping things down with acetone afterwards. We're gonna guide coat this, okay? I don't need a lot, but any kind of overspray that you do get on here, you just spray acetone on a towel, wipe it off. Not the end of the world. I just prefer spray on guide coat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block this with 320 grit, and then I'm gonna grab 500 on my DA with a soft back pad, and go ahead and get this all in 500 grit, and then I'm just going to spot seal. I'll show you guys how to spot seal with a minigun, but I'll spot seal this area, and then we'll blend out our color. I already sprayed this color on the quarter panel. This was damaged from a detail shop. This paint was flaking already here, and it just got worse when a pressure washer hit it. So yeah, let's get into prepping this. You guys will be able to see the build too. This stuff also blocks so nice, man. Like I said before, the biggest trick is getting that skim off of it. I'm actually gonna tape this up. I don't wanna hit this, so let me get some tape real quick. There we go. I just don't wanna accidentally nick that. This thing has already had enough problems as it is. All right. And as you can see, I'm just doing my little crisscross pattern. You don't want to go, you know, like straight lines all the way. You're going to put wobbles in it. That's why you see me kind of cross hatching. Sometimes on these cars that have all these body lines, this can get kind of tricky. Just got to get creative with it. All right. All right, guys. So I got 500 grit on my 6-inch DA. And I do have a little interface pad. It's just provides cushion. If this was a big flat panel, I would probably pop this interface off, but it's not. So I want this to kind of conform around some of these rounds, so I'm not cutting through a lot. So I'm gonna get this in 500 grit, and then we're gonna DA the rest of this fender with 800 grit, and then gray Scotch-Brite, and we'll wheel it back in the booth. So let's go ahead and get this DA'd. And now I'm not gonna go, so you see how like in some of these edges, I'm not gonna stick this in there. I'm going to use this to finish sand in here because I'm gonna spot seal this. So a little bit of 400 grit, spot seal it, we'll be good to go. I don't wanna have a bunch of cut throughs around that, so that's why I'm not gonna just stick this in there and get it there, all right? So yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so like I said before, I'm gonna take this to kind of finish sand in these spots that my DA doesn't want to fit. All right, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some 800 grit, put it on there, and I'll show you how far I take 800 grit on my blend panel, or my blend section of this panel. And because I'm not gonna DA like in here, I'm not gonna do all these cracks and crevices, I'm just gonna do my flat areas, and then I'll Scotch-Brite it. So I have 800 grit on my DA. I'm gonna DA on my flat areas, and I'm not gonna go too ham with this. I'm gonna just get these started, and then I'm gonna finish it with gray Scotch-Brite. Reason being, I don't want a bunch of cut throughs. I don't want to cut through somewhere over here because I'm not blending this door. So I want all of this to stay just nice and scuffed, no cut throughs, so my blends come out nice, all right? Honestly, that's as far as I'm gonna take that. I'm not gonna go too far because, like I said, I want 0 cut throughs, and my Scotch-Brite is gonna get the rest of this scuffed up to where I don't have to worry about it. I won't cut through a Scotch-Brite, so I'm gonna grab the bucket for that. I also don't need a mask. I'm not making dust with this, so. All right, like I said, it's all dull. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna show you how to tape. You can either use foam or I'll show you a folded edge tape trick there. Main reason, I don't wanna end up trying to tape up all of this. It'll be much simpler to tape here. You can see that is all prepped up. Your primer's good to go. All right, guys, so now we're in the booth. I'm gonna go ahead and get this taped up. I need to pop the hood, and I'll show you how to do this edge. I'm gonna back tape here, tape my headlight, back tape. I'll just show you some tape tricks, all right? This is folded edge tape with an easy edger, all right? You can see it's just folded. The reason I'm gonna use this is I'm gonna put it up to this edge, like so, and that's gonna provide a soft edge. Soft edges, way better than hard edges. And especially in a situation like this where I can't really get paint up and over, this is my best option. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this, get it taped up, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, so that's done. We close the hood, like so. More tape. But now I'm gonna put it on here, and you see how that lifts that flutter tape? I don't wanna like pull it all the way up, not super tight. I still want that really soft edge. So I'll bring you in tight so you guys can see this before I'm done. All right, now as you can see, I got a nice soft edge all the way down that. That's what I want. All right, so I have 16-foot plastic. This will work. I'm gonna go ahead, pull it over the entire vehicle, and yeah, we'll get it nice and tight. I'll cut that area out, and we'll get to spraying some paint, huh? All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take my single edge blade and lightly cut my plastic all the way around here, like so. Pull this section that I don't need off. All right. Sweet. Now I'm going to go ahead and tape all of this up, like so. All right, so that's all taped up. I'm going to go ahead, wax and grease remover this one more time. All right, guys, so I have sealer mixed up. This is a DeVilbiss SRI Pro 1.0 minigun. I like to use miniguns in situations like this where I'm gonna spot seal something because of the low overspray. This little thing, it's gonna have very minimal overspray, so I'm not gonna have a bunch of sealer overspray at the back near my blend panel. Also, tack rag your panel. I keep one in my hand at all times because I'm really OCD about this stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and get a coat of sealer on this. And as you see, I'm spraying kind of downward because I want all my overspray to go this way. So I'm gonna let that dry. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just do this single coat of sealer. You can see it's not super covered, but that's okay. All right, so that's already dry. It's been about 5-10 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna use the fastest reducer I could. I got my base color, which is just the first start of this 3-stage. This is the ground color white, and my Segola 4600 with an aqua cap. I have a 1.3 in this. It works really, really, really good for this waterborne base. I'm gonna spray this at about 22 PSI. I'll zoom you guys in so you can really see what I'm doing. But yeah, we'll get this started. I'm not gonna use Basecoat blender yet. I'm going to use it when I spray my pearl coat. That'll help me to see. With these solid whites, it's not really necessary because I'm going to tack rag any kind of overspray in my blend area before I go and do my pearl. So let's get into this. All right, blend this out. You can see it covers really, really nice. And I'm gonna, what's called reverse blend. So I just went as far as I want to take this white. And then on my second coat, once this flashes, I'm just gonna stick to my coverage area. That's called a reverse blend. And I always do 75% overlap. There we go. That looks like it covered really well that time. And same thing, I'm gonna go ahead and just blow some air over it. Get this to dehydrate quickly so we can move on to pearl. All right guys, so now that we've got 2 coats on this, we need to check for coverage. I've got just my sun gun. This is a Sato True Sun. You hit it, we're covered. I don't see any of my repair underneath. My blend looks nice. Yep, so now we're good for pearl. All right guys, so before I go and do my pearl coat, I water Kiwami 4, so 1.3. This is just clear base coat. I'm gonna use it as my blender. I'm gonna tack rag this one last time before I clear this, but I'm going to spray 1 coat of blender over this. What this is going to do is it's going to allow my pearls to land in something wet, first off, and second, it's going to help me visually see my pearl blend. Like I said before, this is a single coat of pearl to match, so I need to see what I'm doing, and this is going to help me. So let's go ahead and get 1 coat of this down, and yeah, we'll get into it. All right, so now I'm gonna do over this entire fender. Because I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see where the pearl is really strong and then where it's just solid white. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my other gun and get into spraying my pearl. All right, same gun, same nozzle. I have my pearl loaded in here. I'm gonna do a single coat, blend all the way out over that white and just a little bit past that white. That's gonna create that effect that you can't see. So I'll bring you in close when I'm done with this, but we'll do our single coat of pearl and then we'll control coat it, and I'll explain that as well. See, I'm going just a little bit past, and it's really crucial to make sure that you're doing a 75% overlap. 75%. All right, so now I'm gonna dehydrate all of this and we'll do a control coat. All right guys, so I dehydrated this. This is all ready to be control coated. Now when I say control coat, what I mean is an orientation coat for metallic or pearls. what you're basically going to do is you can drop your air pressure a couple of pounds. So instead of 22, I'm going to use 20. Back off the panel. I'm going to spray about a foot and a half away from the panel. Still that 75% overlap. But what I'm doing is I'm just laying these pearls down and evening out any of my transition here from color to color. This is like your final step in your blend. So you really need to make sure that you're watching as you're doing this. I'm going to leave you guys backed out. I'm going to go ahead and control coat this, and you'll see the speed that I do. I'm not moving very fast, all right? So let's go ahead and do this. All right, so like I said, back, and I'm just keeping my gun straight and just evening out these pearls. This isn't overly complicated. You just don't want to rush this. I see a lot of guys complain about mottle or blotchiness, but they're rushing control coats, or they're not covered. If you're spraying a silver, make sure you're covered. Use your sun gun. Make sure you're covered before you go and control coat this. If you can see blotchiness and maybe a little bit of sealer underneath, you're not covered. Do another coat. It's got to be as smooth as humanly possible before you control coat it, okay? So that's literally my base coat's done. My blend's done. I'm gonna bring you guys in here. All right, so here's the blend. As you can see visually, there is no color difference front to back. That is what you want, okay? Just like that. I'm gonna go mix up some clear coat, give this about 15 minutes to dry, and we'll spray some clear on it. All right, guys, so we're ready for clear coat. I've got the Segola 4600 digital loaded with a 1.2. That's a Titania Pro air cap. This is my go-to setup for HPC or any like speed clear. I'm gonna do 2 coats back to back, and that's it. And it's gonna air dry in 20 to 25 minutes. So I have this thing set to about 26 PSI. All right, like I said, I'm gonna do back to back. This HPC, it's an express clear coat, so it's meant to be sprayed back to back. So I'm gonna literally just start here and then come right back, and that's it. That's all she wrote. And as always, a 75% overlap is what you want. All right, now we're done with that first one. Go right back. Clear coat is extremely fast. It's not awesome for very large repairs. For things such as this fender, this is honestly your best option. And I'm done. Literally done clear coating. That looks awesome. And it's gonna air dry. So yeah, this is the move, guys. These speed clears are so profitable in a body shop environment, especially when things need to go same day. I love it. Hold on. And that's it. That's all done. I'll bring you guys back in like 25 minutes, and we'll unmask this and show you the color match as well. All right, guys, that's job done. This is all completely dry. I'm gonna back this out of the booth, and this thing is ready to hit the road. I'll leave you guys with a couple of shots, just panning so you guys can see how nice the color is. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Like, comment, share it with your friends. If you guys want to be notified when I post a new video, make sure you hit that little bell icon. That'll send you a message, hey, Ola's got a new video. So I really appreciate the support. I hope you guys liked this job, and I hope you learned something. Leave me comments. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. I plan to do some spray gun reviews, some more tips and tricks, and some more jobs like this where it's just a simple walkthrough, and I can kind of narrate and tell you guys why I do the things that I do, because a lot of times that'll benefit you. I know Freddie has benefited from asking while watching me, so I'll leave you guys with a couple of clips of this. I'm gonna get it out of the booth, pull the next one in. See you guys next time.